what we know is that support is a very powerful factor affecting adjustment. And I see people here who clearly have family members who are very supportive for them. One of the themes that I think I've seen very frequently over the years is a real sense of disappointment and sometimes bitterness about the support provided by people who you thought were your very good friends. That can be very, very challenging. You have friends who just suddenly disappear. And so, how do you actually cope when people haven't helped? How do you cope when people avoid you or pretend that nothing's going on? So do you sulk? Do you withdraw to the clubhouse? Or do you start to get really, really scared and think, well, who would help me if I got really sick? Who would help me and what would we do? And I think it does come back to communication. I think when people avoid things, it's because often they don't know what to say. They're afraid of hurting you, they're afraid of upsetting you. And I think the other thing is the capable woman syndrome. And it was crystallised in my mind some years ago when extended family members on my husband's side were for dinner. And, I was organising, food and washing and preparing more food. And everyone's sitting outside having a fabulous time on the veranda, eating and drinking far too much. And I said to my husband, no one ever offers to help me. And he said, well, would you offer to help you? And I think that the reality is when we've... So there you go. But I think the problem is, I think that when women have traditionally organised and done everything, people sometimes don't realise that you might need help. We don't always ask or say what we want. And an example I can recall from many years ago, I rang my sister-in-law and my niece answered the phone. I think she was 3 or so at the time. And I said in my best Auntie Jane voice, hello Katie, it's Auntie Jane. Is Mummy there? And she said yes and hung up. That's what I'd asked her. And if you think about how often we ask people things, but we don't say what we really want or what we really need.